How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to our Backyard Baseball 2003 Tampa Bay Devil Rays season playthrough. It is the regular season finale. We are 13-0 on the season. We shut out the Dodgers last week at their house. We beat them 7-0. We checked out their lineup a little bit at the end of the last episode. They have some interesting players on their team. They have Alex Rodriguez, of course. They have Jacinda Smith. Their second baseman, Brett Olson, he's just .073 on the year. That is a low batting average. We don't want to give him any hits, that's for sure. And that was an easy strikeout for Randy Johnson. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Let's go. Great start. Left hook, high and inside. Strikeout number 2. 3 more pitches, 3 more strikes. Let's go. So here is A-Rod. Got to watch out for him, man. He's got good power. He's got a good batting average, batting .317. He gets contact, but that is an easy out right to Randy Johnson, and we're up just like that. So here is Pete Wheeler, who has probably been our most consistent batter. He's got a lot of strikeouts, but he's batting .620. Very good on the season. And that is a solid grounder, but that is right to their second baseman. Easy out right there. And there is some contact from Ichiro. Will that go into the gap? And their second baseman drops it, so that's a base hit for Ichiro off an error. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to steal with them. Ichiro and Pete Wheeler both have 3 steals. Pablo Sanchez has 1. I don't know why I wasn't stealing with them earlier in the season because they got so much speed. And in this game, speed kills. As you can see right there, that was a horrible throw from their catcher who's pretty good. So challenging him is a risk, but it pays off there. There is some solid contact from Pablo Sanchez. That ball drops. That's a great throw from their right fielder. So Pablo's out, but Ichiro gets the third. All right, so here's Ken Griffey Jr., the league leader in home runs. He's got 11. And that is a rocket from Ken Griffey Jr. That's going to hit the building. But wow, talk about a hit right there. And that is a bouncing ball. We'll see if Ken Griffey Jr. can get all the way to second. He's at second. Can he get to third? That's a bad throw. And we're not going to test A-Rod's arm, but that is an RBI triple for Ken Griffey Jr. Great way to start off the game for him. We're up 1-0. That is a grounder, and that's going to be an easy out for them. All right, so we leave Ken Griffey Jr. on third, which is never good, but at least we are on the board early. That's going to be inside. But she swings anyway. Wow, the CPU almost never swings at pitches outside the strike zone, so I'm surprised she went for that. Wow, that was not a good pitch. So here's Jacinda Smith. Pretty solid batting average. Randy Johnson drops that. Keisha Phillips has to come out. Great throw by her. Out number 2. All right, here is Butch Sherrod, who's been batting pretty well for a pitcher. He's .297 on the season. Line drive right there to Pete. He drops it. Randy Johnson has to pick up and throw it over to Ahmed. Easy play for Randy Johnson, just like that. Out number 3, we're on to the next inning. So here's Keisha Phillips, who next to Pete Wheeler has probably been the most consistent batter for us. She's batting .608 for us. Just great power, although that's a pop fly right there. Well, Jacinda Smith gonna hit. She does. Easy out. So here's Nomar, who's having a small stat boost today to his hitting, I believe. But you don't see it there. That is a pop fly, and Jacinda Smith, she's got it. Out number 2. Ahmed Khan with a line drive. Is that going to count as a home run? No, it counts as a ground rule double. I think it's because it bounced, but wow, good hit by him. Solid line drive, and he's on second. Here is Randy Johnson, who has slowed down a little bit, at least as far as batting is concerned here late in the season, although that's some power right there on that foul ball. And there's a grounder. We're going to see if we can bait with Amir. No, he doesn't go for it. Smart guy. All right, Randy Johnson's out. No runs in that inning for us. Left hook to the outside. Strikeout number 4. He swung way early at that one. Strikeout number 5 for Randy Johnson, even with that low stamina already. Great throw. Randy's getting a little inaccurate here already, so we're going to have him throw one more power-up pitch, and we're going to juice up after this if this is a strike. All right, that is strike 2. Usually don't have to juice up this early, but I've been leaning on some of these power pitches pretty quick so far. Let's see if she goes for this corkscrew. Buries that one. Strikeout number 6 already, man. Randy Johnson, he's on a tear today. We're back at the top of the lineup. So Pete Wheeler's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out. But this one is a high fly ball. Oh, man. 0 for 2 today for Pete Wheeler. Ichiro with the line. Oh, that was almost an amazing hit. Stayed foul just A little too long there. That is a very weak grounder, but we know how fast Ichiro is. Can he get there? He does not beat Jocinda to the bag. Oh, man, I was clicking away furiously at that. Dang. That is a pretty weak grounder right there, right to A-Rod, and that's going to be an easy out, man. 3 outs. Not a whole lot of power hitting today, aside from that one Ken Griffey Jr. hit. 4th pitch of the at-bat. Strikeout, man. Got him swinging. Feel bad for him at this point, almost. 7 strikeouts on 29 pitches for Randy Johnson. His career high so far, or his season high, I should say, is 12. But there's some contact right there, and Keisha Phillips is under it, but he is fast. And that is over his head. Wow, Ahmed could not get that. Keisha Phillips threw that out way too far, and that's the first hit of the game. So, no-hitter in the regular season for Randy Johnson. They did not have a hit until that moment. And there's a bunt from A-Rod. Good strategic move. We're going to get him out at first, but they have a man on third now. And she falls for it. 8 strikeouts for Randy Johnson, and we escape. Let's go. We're back up. We need to pour on some runs, though. They got a little close there. We need some big hits, and Ken Griffey Jr. could be that guy. He's got a triple today. How was that a strike? Get out of here, man. The CPU is mad at me. That is a pop fly, so he pitched smartly to me. Will we get the catcher error cheese? No. Wow, alright. You gotta be kidding me with these change-ups, dude. See, I feel bad that counts as a hit. That should not count as a hit. I swear, both Amir and Ahmed Khan have had so many hits off errors in this season. Alright, there we go, Keisha. There we go, Keisha. That's what's up. Perfect spot. That's into right center. Ahmed is going to get to third. Can Ahmed? No, I'm not going to test A-Rod. I'm not going to test A-Rod. Alright. I'm not going to test A-Rod, but that was a great hit from Keisha Phillips. There we go, Nomar. Well, hold on a second. So this will be a fly out, but we are going to be able to send Ahmed home. That's a great throw into third, but too late. We're up 2-0. Oh man, that is going to be right down the first baseline. Easy out, but at least we extend our lead just slightly with that RBI from Nomar. We're up just 2-0 though. Solid hit from Keisha Phillips, but Pete Wheeler at third base has been making so many plays. There it is. He swung so early that one. Randy Johnson with strikeout number 9 already. Wow. Crazy. Strikeout number 10. Randy Johnson, man. Now he has an opportunity to at least tie his season high. Alright, there's Randy Johnson with a fly ball over the head of Jocinda Smith. He's going to stay. Solid hit from Randy Johnson. He's aboard. Pete Wheeler, 0 for 2 today. 0 for 2. His batting average has dropped a few points. But there is a solid hit out. That's going to be over the head of the second baseman. And let's see if we can get further with Randy Johnson. He's going to be able to advance to third. Great stuff from Randy Johnson. Good hustle. Great hit by Pete Wheeler. All right, we got runners at the corners. No outs. He throws it to third. Pete Wheeler, 4th steal of the season. There's no way he walks Ichiro. There's no way he walks Ichiro because I think Pablo's up next. All right, there's a grounder. Oh, man. Ichiro beats it. He's so quick. He is so quick. And now the bases are loaded for Pablo Sanchez. He is 0 for 2 today, however. So we'll see. I tend to hit pop-ups with Pablo a lot. No. Why did I swing at that? I'm making Pablo look like a jerk. I don't know why I'm not good with him. It's like, I think the game nerfs him when the user uses Pablo, because whenever I play against Pablo and the CPU is with him, he's legendary. That was Sherrod's first strikeout of the game, by the way. It took him 53 pitches to get it, and it's against Pablo. Like, that's just so insulting. This is a high bounce from Ken Griffey Jr., and Randy Johnson scores. That was an interesting hit by Ken Griffey Jr., but you know what? It gets the job done. There is a rocket line drive from Ahmed. Wow, that is a great hit. That's going to score at least 2. Oh, wow, that's a great throw from... wow, okay, well... Ken Griffey Jr. was safe, apparently. I don't think he was safe at all, but Ken Griffey Jr. is safe. We don't get an out there, and 2 RBIs for Ahmed Khan. That was a great hit. And Jocinda Smith is up now. Wow. Grounder down the third baseline for Keisha Phillips. Ken Griffey Jr. beats it. We have the bases loaded yet again. Wow. All right. All right, Nomar. This is a low-risk situation, man. He had an RBI earlier. There is a grounder. Will they throw home? They will throw home. Okay, so we're back to the bases loaded, but they have 2 outs now. That is a rocket from Amir Khan. Oh my goodness, will that be a home run? That is a grand slam from Amir Khan. Holy cow. That was ridiculous, man. That feels good, though, and we're going to be up 9-0. She tried it. She tried it. She had us at 2 strikes, and nah, Amir said, I'm going to crank this one. That was satisfying. We are back to the bottom of the order. Randy Johnson had the hit to start off this inning. If he can get back on base, that'll be pretty funny. Although there is a pop fly, and so that will end it. Right now we can concentrate on getting Randy Johnson this season high. We're going to use everything we can here. And that is a good hit off a power-up right to Amir Khan, who is not even fazed by it. All right, well, the best we can do now, though, is tie. So, if he gets 2 more strikeouts. Strikeout number 11 on the day for Randy Johnson. Let's go, man. Let's see if we can tie this. Down to the final out here. And it is against Brett Olson, who we have struck out twice already. Oh, man, I feel bad for this kid if we get him again. We're going to throw everything at him. Juicing back up, and I think we got to give him the big freeze. I think we got to give him the big freeze. Randy Johnson says yes. This has the chance of being inaccurate, though. Will this be it? Oh, my gosh, y'all. I think we got to do it again. I think we need to do it again. He says yes. Come on. Please land in the strike zone. This uses up so much stamina. He swings at it. Let's go. Tying the season high, 12 strikeouts on 56 pitches, and that's going to end it for our regular season. We beat the Rangers 9-0. So here it goes as we broke the following records this season. Of course, this was the first season I've played on this hard drive, so that's pretty cool, though. So we broke the following records for home runs, hits, doubles, triples, RBIs, runs, and batting average. I'm not sure if that's for individuals or just for team. Oh, we got a newspaper article up here. All eyes on the prize. Players focus in as playoffs start. All right, man. So if we win in the playoffs, we advance to the league championship, and then we advance to the World Series. So I think there's a total of 17 games if we get all the way there. So let's check out the stats. The only player that did not get a hit was Pablo Sanchez. He had an interesting season, for sure. Kind of up and down, but best performances, Ichiro, 2 for 3. And he had 2 runs, including the first run that really started everything off. And I believe he did have a steal as well, along with Pete Wheeler. So Ichiro was 2 for 3. Ken Griffey Jr. was 2 for 3. He had that triple to start everything off, which definitely would have been a home run on an arena with, normal fencing. He completely rocketed that one. Ahmed Khan had a really solid hit. He was 2 for 3. Keisha Phillips, 2 for 3. Nomar Garciaparra had a pretty great hit, and Amir Khan finished things off with that grand slam to seal the deal. That was epic. But of course, pitching-wise, Randy Johnson did not get his season high. He tied it. 12 strikeouts on 56 pitches. Just absolutely ridiculous. And so now we can look at everyone's stats for the regular season now that the regular season is over. So everyone finished batting above 300, which is pretty great. Randy Johnson was the lowest with .326. He is the pitcher. In terms of ratings, he is the worst batter on the team. But for a pitcher who's only 5 out of 10 for batting 326 is pretty freaking good. He even had 3 home runs, with the way the paveway is set up. If you hit it into deep left field and it goes off camera, that counts as a home run. But he did have an outside of the park home run at Scrapco Field in our second game of the season against the Orioles. But 3 home runs for a pitcher, that's pretty good. Next lowest in terms of batting average was Ichiro. I was hoping he'd be a more dependable contact hitter, but hey, batting .415, that's pretty freaking great anyway. He did end up getting an inside the park home run in our second to last game. That was pretty great. Only 4 RBIs, and I would say this is more due to him just being the leadoff batter. And he started off over half the games for us. And he did end up getting 4 steals on the season, which is pretty good. Next lowest after that was Nomar Garciaparra, who batted .48, who batted .480. He did not have a great start to the season at all, but he started to heat up towards the end there. Got his batting average up a little bit. He had 3 home runs, including one really impressive one that was like dead center at the paveway in one of our home games. That was pretty epic. And then our third lowest batting average was Pablo Sanchez, who batted 500 on the season. He finished out that last game 0 for 3, which is too bad. Only had 3 home runs on the season. So again, don't really know why that was the case. 13 RBIs. Normally it's pretty good, but that was good for second worst on our team. Actually, no, that was good at the tied for third worst with Ahmed Khan, actually, who's another power hitter who was kind of underwhelming this year. But Pablo Sanchez for us was mainly just a solid contact hitter. Again, batting 500, that's nothing to turn your nose at. He was pretty dependable in the field. Solid hitter, solid player, but again, it's what I was talking about during the game. I feel like when you use Pablo Sanchez in the game, sometimes he feels nerfed, like he's not as powerful. He hit a lot of line drives for us, a lot of really, really fast, powerful line drives, but there were no like epic home runs that, he hits when the CPU is controlling him. After that, we had Ahmed Khan, who I said, was also kind of underwhelming. He's got, in my opinion, more power off his bat than Pablo Sanchez does, although Pablo's a much better all-around player. Pablo's faster. Pablo's better in the field. But Ahmed was pretty good, batted 5'10", 4 home runs. Not as many home runs as his younger brother, who batted 571, had 5 home runs to Ahmed's 4. And then we have Ken Griffey Jr., who batted 531. He was just insane. 11 home runs, 25 RBIs, led the team in RBIs and home runs by far. And this is actually what's interesting. Ken Griffey Jr. had 11 home runs, and the next highest total on the team was 5. So Ken Griffey Jr. was just... he was over double the power hitter that anyone else on the team was, which I find kind of interesting, because especially when you've got Pablo Sanchez, Ahmed Khan, Keisha Phillips, so many other really good power hitters on the same team. Ken Griffey Jr. just blew everyone out of the water, which I find pretty impressive. Then we have Keisha Phillips, who batted 612. She ended up with the highest batting average on the team. Fantastic contact hitter, powerful, fast, 5 home runs, very good season. Pete Wheeler was not the best in that last game there, but he finished .603. I believe he did lead the team in hits with 32 hits on the season, 4 home runs, and just like Ichiro, he did have 4 stolen bases. Pitching-wise, nobody pitched except for Randy Johnson, and he finished with 96 strikeouts on the season with an ERA of .54. That's ridiculous, man. One category that I'm really annoyed that we did not exploit more was stolen bases. For some reason, in the first few games of the season, I wasn't even thinking about stealing, which is dumb because there are so many fast players on this team. I mean, Pete Wheeler, Ichiro, Pablo, Keisha Phillips, even Ken Griffey Jr. is decently fast, and Nomar, and they could have steal base speed against really bad catchers. But Pete Wheeler and Ichiro had 4 stolen bases apiece. Pablo had 1. Attempted it with Keisha in the last game, didn't get it. So that's too bad. We also did not get a lot of walks. Only Ichiro, Pablo, and Keisha drew walks this season. And so check this out. Runs for, we scored 130 runs in 14 games. That is almost 10 runs a game. And then we only allowed 7 runs that entire season. That is wild. As a matter of fact, let's look at these pitching stats. So Randy Johnson only allowed 61 hits all year. Just completely shut everyone down. I mean, just ridiculous. Another thing that I found interesting was Nomar Garcia-Parra was credited with the most errors. He led the team by far with 6. As a matter of fact, the only player on the team who did not have an error was Ahmed, which I find bizarre because I felt like he dropped a lot of balls at first base. I don't know why Nomar did have errors, but I don't feel like he had 6, so that's kind of surprising. As far as slugging percentage goes, I know that a lot of y'all are probably interested in this statistic because it really, shows who hits for power the most. Ken Griffey Jr. batted 1.4 for slugging percentage. That's pretty freaking great. Keisha Phillips was 1.14. Pete Wheeler was 1.01. Amir Khan had a great slugging percentage, .959. Ahmed Khan, .938. Pablo Sanchez, pretty solid, .869. That is only 4th worst on the team. Ichiro and Randy Johnson actually did not finish that far apart. And I think this is because Randy Johnson just had a few fluke home runs that went out. So, of course, we're going to go over to the league leaders to show you how our guys stacked up. Ken Griffey Jr. led the league in home runs by a lot. He led by 4. The next closest players were Marcellus Marks for the Wombats and Chico Papas for the Minnesota Twins. They both had 7. And then Amir Khan and Keisha Phillips both ended up tying for 4th, it looks like. Both of them had 5. So Ken Griffey Jr., definitely the best power hit in the league, no question, undisputed. As far as hits are concerned, we really showed up. Pete Wheeler led the league in hits with 32. Keisha Phillips was right behind him with 30. She was 2nd in the league. Amir Khan 4th with 28. Ahmed Khan, Ken Griffey Jr. tied for 5th with 25. Nomar Garciaparra 24. Pablo Sanchez 23. So we definitely had the best team of batters in the league, no question. Doubles, Keisha Phillips finished with 7. She makes on the league leaders list. Triples, Nomar Garciaparra and Ken Griffey Jr. both finished with 3. RBIs, there is Ken Griffey Jr. atop the league with 25. Amir Khan, he showed up, man. 21 RBIs. Keisha Phillips at 17. Pete Wheeler and Nomar Garciaparra also at 14. Runs scored, our guys showed up. Pete Wheeler 21 led the league. Keisha Phillips 20. Ken Griffey Jr. 17. Pablo Sanchez 15. Ichiro 15. So that's actually interesting. Although Pablo and Ichiro were not our best batters, they did get on base, and when they got on base, they scored. So that's actually a pretty interesting statistic right there. So even though they were not the most consistent batters in terms of batting average, when they got on base, they were more likely to score. As far as batting average goes, of course, our guys were all over this. Timmy Unger finished with .674, so we did not have the highest batting average, but Keisha Phillips and Pete Wheeler were right there. Amir Khan's right there. Ken Griffey Jr. is right there. Ahmed Khan's right there. Slugging percentage, like I said, Ken Griffey Jr. led the league, 1.4. Timmy Unger, man, and Zena from the Green Wombats. This Green Wombats team looks pretty good right here. Both Timmy Unger and Zena Fromm were 2 of the best sluggers. Keisha Phillips is also on that list. On steals, Pete Wheeler and Ichiro both did end up making the list with 4. They were tied with several other players for 3rd, it looks like. In terms of strikeouts, this is strikeouts thrown. Randy Johnson absolutely destroyed everyone else. It wasn't even close. 96 strikeouts. The next closest was Dominic Hoskins for the Royals. He just had 54, man. So Randy Johnson, best pitcher in the league. It's not even close, dude. ERA, and then look at that, .54 for Randy Johnson. Next best was Dominic Hoskins again, 1.75, man. Randy Johnson's winning the Cy Young Award equivalent for this league. Not even close. And then, like I said, with errors, Nomar Garciaparra ends up being tied with several other players in the league for 3rd most errors. I don't feel like he had that many, so I don't know. Maybe I can go back and look. I don't feel like he had that many errors. So that is it for the regular season. Next time I'm seeing you guys, we'll be in the playoffs. We'll be in our first playoff series. I believe, like I said, it is best 2 out of 3, so we'll be playing those games. Hope to see you guys soon. How do you think we'll do in the playoffs? Let me know in the comments below. Catch you guys next time.
What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed Game 14 of the Backyard Baseball 2003 Tampa Bay Devil Rays season playthrough. It has been a crazy season to finish it undefeated. And man, I hope you guys are as ready for the playoffs as I am. It's going to be really exciting. But I am here sort of, out of coach character to address the channel and make an important announcement. And for some of you, it might be like a big fourth wall break, and so sorry to, kind of ruin that for you, but, for the status of this channel, I kind of have to make this announcement. So if you've made it this far, you've probably watched all of the previous episodes of this Backyard Baseball 2003 Tampa Bay Devil Rays season playthrough. If this is somehow your first video, or you haven't watched the entire series, I really do suggest that you go back and watch all the videos and make sure to like and subscribe as well. But the big reveal here, I sort of have 2 big announcements. The big reveal here, though, the big fourth wall break, as I put it, is that all of the videos that you just watched in this series were recorded back in May and June of 2020. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. All of those videos were filmed last spring and summer, and no, I'm not lying, that's the truth. All of those videos were filmed almost a year ago now. The reason why it took me so long to upload these videos, I don't remember exactly. I think I didn't upload the first episode in the series until like either late September or October. The reason why it took me so long to get through that, and why the reason why it took me so long to finally upload the first video, and then just to upload the series in general, and why my upload schedule is so inconsistent, is due to a lot of reasons. It's due to, just general procrastination, just not being able to commit to something, to commit to a goal. I moved as well and just had other personal stuff going on, and so for that reason, I actually sat on those videos for a very long time. And of course, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, the reason why I don't upload consistently is because YouTube is not my job. Obviously, YouTube is just a hobby, and I have other stuff, going on in my daily life, and so I just can't upload at the same rate as a normal YouTuber does. And so for those reasons, again, I have uploaded all these videos on a backlog, and that is why it has taken me so long to get through this regular season and to upload those videos in general. And so with all that being said, the reason I'm making this announcement is to tell you that I'm going to be taking a break from this channel. Don't worry, I'm not abandoning the series, but when I say that I'm taking a break, it's not the same as, me just taking my usual 2 weeks or so to upload a video. What I mean is I'm actually going to need to take some time off to film more episodes. The only videos that I have filmed back in May and June of 2020 were the regular season games. The playoffs have not been filmed yet. Yes, I will repeat it. I played the regular season back in May and June of 2020, and I have not played the playoffs yet. I need to record those videos, and yes, I have not touched our Tampa Bay Devil Rays team since June of 2020. Nothing has been touched since then. The file has been sitting on my computer. I've played backyard baseball since then. I've, practiced and stuff like that and recorded other games, but I have not played a game with this team since I recorded the game that you just watched. It's been untouched since then. And so I'm going to need to take some time off to record new episodes, and also I really want to make sure that a lot of the problems with the regular season video uploads, technical issues, I want to make sure I correct those. I know that there have been issues throughout the videos regarding the sound, volumes and stuff like that, and gameplay audio and stuff like that, and I want to make sure that coming back that the videos are as pristine as possible. I'm not going to make any drastic changes in my editing style. I think it's good enough as it is. I like how I have a basic sort of, more classic Let's Play style. I know a lot of YouTubers like to have, random music in the background, and they do flashy edits with lots of effects, and, they do lots of zooms all over the place. I don't plan on doing that. I like my basic core style, which is just gameplay, game audio, face cam. I don't really think it needs to be anything more than that. I like that it's, again, the classic sort of YouTube, old school YouTube Let's Play style. I'm not changing any of that, but some of the more technical drawbacks of the early episodes of the series, I want to make sure I correct those and make everything more consistent so the videos are as good as possible. But yeah, guys, so again, I don't know how long the break is going to be. It could be the usual 2 weeks. I could just get right on it and get it to uploading videos again. It could be a month, maybe even longer, but don't worry. If it is that long, I'm not abandoning this channel. I'm not abandoning this team. I'm not abandoning the audience. It's just going to take a while to get through this series. But once I do get through this series, I am definitely not done with Backyard Baseball 2003, and I'm not done with backyard sports in general. I have a lot of stuff planned, so stay tuned for that. And again, if you have not subscribed, make sure to subscribe so when I do get through the playoffs, when the Devil Rays get back on the diamond and get ready to claim the title and finish an immaculate season, a regular season undefeated, playoffs undefeated, World Series undefeated. Let's see if we can do that. I'm very excited, and I hope you guys are too. Like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching.